You are tuned to the hottest indie music source in the entire world. This is Indie Originals Live, IOL. With your host, legendary DJ and performance artist, Chuck Fresh. You too can hear your own original music here on IOL. Visit our website for details, indieoriginals.com, or swing by our Facebook page at Indie Originals. Welcome to Indie Originals Live, episode number 15 already.
How's that even possible?
I don't know, this is becoming like a job. My name is Chuck Fresh. I am joined by the lovely and talented
Felicia B.
How y'all doing out there in Radio Land and Podcast Land? Just say a big shout out and a big thank you again to our global audience. This podcast / radio show is broadcasted all over the world and also on 15 domestic radio stations right here in the USA. So thank you to all of you who are listening right now and everybody who supported us. And please continue to like and share and let the world know about this awesome indie music. We're still putting together IndieCon, which is, let me tell you about IndieCon, because there will actually be a convention of indie artists, which will also it's two things in one. It'll be an independent artist convention for movie makers, for musicians in Central Florida. But also it will be the national, actually global award ceremony for the Indie Originals Live music and film and literature and talent competition. This is a big deal. This is the first time anything's ever actually tried to combine all these different forms of independent talent. But we're doing it because we've got some serious kahunas, don't we?
We do.
We're out of our minds.
But we also believe in these independent artists. They're
we
really,
do.
really good.
We love it. And I'm also an independent artist and a filmmaker and an author.
That is true.
I completely understand what independent people are going through because I've been there. I'm doing it right now. So they need an outlet, something to give them a little bit more visibility and award some people for all the hard work you're doing. So we totally believe in what you're doing. And unlike some of the other competitions, we believe in it because we do it. We're not just some kind of corporate conglomerate that's trying to make money off of this thing. We actually believe in the indie talent industry. I just can't call it indie music because it's indie films, indie music, indie authors, and also if you're a talent, if you, I don't know, if you juggle, if you're a celebrity impersonator.
Dancers.
If you're a dancer or a choreographer, we want to see what you got. And you can check out the rules and more information about what's going on. I think voting and, submissions are open, and voting won't happen for a little while now. Submissions should be open by the time you hear this radio broadcast. I think they'll be open by the time you hear this on the radio. The podcast might be a little early. I think it opens December 15th for early admissions, and you save a couple of bucks by entering early. So tell everybody you know, if you're an indie artist, jump on there. Check out the website, www.indieoriginalslive.com. You can also get there through our website, indieoriginals.com, and it's all over our social media, too, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and you're hearing it right here in your earballs. Indie Originals Live, the first ever global talent competition for indie artists. So jump on that and be a part of that. It's going to be exciting. The finals are going to be nuts, and the finals will be at the IndieCon. We're still trying to figure out how to call this thing. No idea. It's so big. It's the biggest thing I've ever done, but the pieces are falling together nicely, and it'll happen. It's going to happen June 15th. We will announce the winners for all the categories on June 15th, 2019. So we've got 6 months to throw this thing together, and it's going to be awesome. So without further ado, let's get back into some of the coolest indie music on the planet. Am I first this time, Felicia?
You're first this time. Take it.
Check it out. We're going to play some music by the groups Low Bodies, Lauren-Marsh, James and the Drifters. Did you know there's no James in James and the Drifters? There's no James, yeah. Just like there's no, what's that other band? Gary Laser Eyes. There's no Gary.
Really? His name's not Gary?
His name's not Gary Laser either. And he doesn't have eyes. And I think he has eyes. And Breaker Box, we're going to hear from music from Human Cycle. I lost my train of thought there. Chelsea-Lyn-Meyer, Paul-Pedana, and Suzanah-free, and a couple of replays. We'll let you know towards the end of the show. We've decided to move the replays towards the end of the show so we could feature the newer songs, the newer artists who haven't been played yet, a little bit earlier in the show. So we're just, we're massaging the show, right?
Right.
You like where it's going, don't you, Felicia?
I do.
Yeah. You just like massaging, don't you?
I really believe in these guys, these people that put
I
these
do. I think they're awesome.
songs together.
Low Bodies is an alternative rock band from Seattle, Washington. Established in the spring of 2017 with vocalist Joshua Kendrick, Low Bodies takes you on a ride they like to call grunge pop. Grunge pop, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. Full gritty guitars and catchy melodies that will have you singing their songs long after you last listen. And I can vouch for that for sure. Low Bodies has a tremendous amount of potential, man. Wait till you hear this thing. With songs like Missing You, I'm telling you right now, this band can be heard everywhere real soon. Think Maroon 5 mashed up with Coldplay, One Republic, and, man, just a step better. Unbelievable, man. Here's your new addiction, ladies and gentlemen. The band is Low Bodies. This track is Missing You, and this is IOL.
Call me up, I got your body on my mind. Is it safe to say the things we keep behind closed eyes and doors? It got me weak. Say my name, I need to hear the way it rolls right off your tongue. Losing up that smile and dress, it'll come undone. Waiting for you here, never has been harder than right now, my dear. I can't wait any longer. So keep me on memories until I get home. Into this world singing, I'm still missing you. Pick up where we left off every night. At a quarter to nine, meet you on Skype. And being a kind of funny, I'm trapped inside a digital love life. Waiting for you here, never has been harder than right now, my dear. I can't wait any longer. So keep me on memories until I get home. Into this world singing, I'm still missing you. As I'm staring at this picture, God knows I miss you. As I'm counting down the day until I get home, the place where I rest my bones, the place where I left your beautiful face. You know it haunts me still, damn near every night. No, I don't wanna go, but I gotta catch this flight. So keep me on memories until I get home. Into this world singing, I'm still missing you. So keep me on memories until I get home. Into this world singing, I'm still missing you.
This is IOL.
Growing up in New Jersey, Lauren-Marsh spent many nights driving out to the Jersey Shore. Hey, didn't you do that back in the day?
Oh, yeah. I used to drive to a place called Margate, New Jersey every Saturday, and it was a Friday and Saturday night because I was a DJ at a club down there for one summer.
Nice.
After working a day job. It was awful. It was like an hour ride each way. And
All right, so she's driving out to the Jersey Shore to take the stage at beachfront coffee shops, lighting up the crowd with her captivating vocals and gorgeous songs. After cutting her teeth at those coffee shops, Marsh headed off to William Patterson University to sharpen her craft. During college, she took up ukulele.
Ukulele, said that right.
I did.
Nice.
I know. Suzanah-free actually taught us that.
She'll be on the show later.
That's right. Partly as a way to make her act more portable. One night she was going to play an open mic.
What did she have to push her keyboard there in a shopping cart?
Yeah.
That story?
Okay.
Yeah.
She remembers that it got to the point where she was like, maybe I need to pick up another instrument just to make this a little bit easier.
Yeah, right. Been there, done that.
On her EP Rival, the 26-year-old singer-songwriter expands on the sound she first honed as a teenager. A piano-driven brand of folk pop recently revealed in her surprise hit single, Dear Love. The stripped-back closing track emerged as Marsh's breakthrough song, prominently featured on an episode of NCIS New Orleans.
Wow.
The ukulele-based ballad landed on quite a few Spotify playlists with over 5 million streams.
What?
That's pretty cool. Lauren received a standing ovation after her solo acoustic performance opening for the Don McLean sold-out show.
We saw Don McLean, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, so down here in Florida.
As Marsh steadily built up a following, she began scoring more and more gigs around New York City. Lauren aims to make each set as intimate as possible. Whether there's 5 people or 5,000 people in the crowd, you've got to play your heart out, she says. I just want to give people moments that move them in some way. Here's I Need You Now by Lauren-Marsh on IOL.
Never knew that there was someone like you. Never knew that this was what love could do. And I was ready to spend the rest of my life wasted away on some lonely vice. But I can't deny what I know to be true. And you're taking away all of my fears, making my worries disappear. The ground is shaking, my heart is aching. Oh baby, I need you now. Turn the lights off, close the door, 'cause baby, I need you now. I'm a mess for every part of you. I'm a mess for everything you do. The ground is shaking, my heart is aching. Oh baby, I need you now. It's so hypnotic and I'm fond of it. Don't stop. If you're close to the edge, I'll fall with you. And I was ready to spend the rest of my life wasted away on some lonely vice. But I can't deny what I know to be true. And you're taking away all of my fears, making my worries disappear. The ground is shaking, my heart is aching. Oh baby, I need you now. Turn the lights off, close the door, 'cause baby, I need you now. I'm a mess for every part of you. I'm a mess for everything you do. The ground is shaking, my heart is aching. Oh baby, I need you now. Oh yeah. Oh baby, I need. Never knew that there was someone like you. Never knew that this was what love could do. The ground is shaking, my heart is aching. Oh baby, I need you now. Turn the lights off, close the door, 'cause baby, I need you now. I'm a
This is your president speaking. Chuck Fresh is a man after my own heart. He's not afraid to grab him by the, well, you know what I mean. I hated his old show, Local Beat Live, the worst, terrible. But this show, Indie Originals Live, it's tremendous, the best. When I'm not golfing or tweeting from the toilet, my senior staffers will find me holed up in a closet listening to Indie Originals Live. And that Felicia, beautiful, tremendous. Listen to Indie Originals Live every week. Or you may be investigated by the FBI. Just kidding. Fake news. Thank you.
James and the Drifters is a 4-piece rock brotherhood turned band. Formed in the small town of Huntington, Indiana in 2010. Isn't that where Danny Blues is from?
I'm not sure if it's Huntington or not. I'm not 100%.
Somewhere out there in Indiana. In 2010, James and the Drifters was originally the project of 4 artists pulling resources. James and the Drifters has been like a revolving door of local talent, and many local bands can identify with that. Today, the Drifters is a collective project based mainly in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The band consists of Kyle Jackson, Andy Shear, Dan Willig, Andrew Freehoff, and Perry J. Blige. Wait a minute. Is that his name? Sounds like a rap guy. Perry J. Blige Childs. Unless there's 2 names there. And we apologize, Perry J. or Blige. I'm not. What's going on there? Is that Mary J. Blige Child?
Any relation?
I'm so confused. The music they play is the heart and soul of each former and current member of the band and their community. Stylistically, the band has shaken off their dusty folk Americana boots for the thicker skin sounds of rock and blues. Their forthcoming full-length record, The Glow, will be released in early 2019, so hang out and check them out for that. Check out Bay City by James and the Drifters on IOL.
I've been tracing circles in my sleep. I follow the blood to where the vampires meet. Calling me back for a couple of dreams. Sink on the bed's gotta burst off the beam. I lay out all the down all the stars and burn out. I memorize you like the Bay City light.
hottest source for all new original music you haven't heard anywhere else. This is Indie Originals Live, IOL, with your host Chuck Fresh. We'll be back with more killer tunes right after these short words. One more time, I want to remind you, even if you're not an indie musician, you definitely want to follow this. If you love indie music, you're going to hear the most incredible indie music you've ever heard in your life. Our Indie Originals Live contest will feature indie musicians. And most of the bands who enter will be featured either on this show or on our sub-channel, IOL2. We're going to play as many of those as we can squeeze in there, as many as we have the time for. So, yeah, indie bands, man, if you're on this train and you want to get some real good exposure, we suggest you enter the Indie Originals Live Music Competition. There's also a film competition, a literature competition for authors and audiobook people, and even people who design covers, all kinds of categories that cover just about everything. Even in the music category, we're looking for music videos. We're looking for best CD cover designs. So if you're the creative type and you're an indie musician or an indie filmmaker, indie writer or author, or even if you just have some kind of really cool talent, like a lookalike or a choreographer or something, a dancer, a model, all kinds of categories, check out the categories. They're all listed on our website at www.indieoriginalslive.com. And actually, Film Freeway, I think, is featuring this competition. So you can check out Film Freeway and just search for IOL. It's filmfreeway.com/IOL. And you can find the entry forms there, too. But check out the website for the rules, the categories, everything you need to know about the Indie Originals Live Talent Competition for 2019. It ends on June 15th. We'll have our ceremony here in Central Florida where we'll announce the winners. And some of those winners will perform live on our stage. And we're going to show some clips from the winning movies. And there'll also be like a mini convention here, too. So if you're in Central Florida in June of 2019, June 15, 2019, it's a Saturday, an all-day Saturday into Saturday night. You definitely want to stop in this place. Tickets are available on the website, too. www.indieoriginalslive.com, hosted by us, the fine folks at Indie Originals. Live from Central Florida, it's Indie Originals Live with your hosts, Felicia and Fresh. Tonight's musical guests, a bunch of incredibly talented indie artists you may not have heard of before, but who will most likely be tomorrow's biggest stars.
The alt-pop rock duo Breakerbox is from Buffalo, New York, featuring singer-songwriter Christina Dene and drummer-producer Scott Calandra, who have been making noise independently throughout the music industry since their debut EP release, These Are Strange Days, in 2011. This dynamic duo have infused their vocals and drums with synth-pop tracks they have produced in their studio. Breakerbox has shared the stage with some of rock music's top-selling artists such as Living Colour, Seether, and Theory of Deadman. They released their latest single, Miss You, teaming with the Wounded Warrior Project, which is a national charity known for their amazing work benefiting soldiers and their families. Collaborating with Chris Basford from Nickelback Shinedown and mixed with Grammy Award winner Joe Palamachi, I'm going to go with it, who has worked with Michael Jackson and Alicia Keys. Miss You is destined for greatness. Check it out. Here's Breakerbox on IOL.
It's been a while since you've been gone. You've been weighing on my mind, so I wrote this song. It's all that I could do. I'm missing you. Do you know that I wish
This is Freeman, and I wanted to make sure that you tell everyone you know that they should be listening to this radio program. Indie Originals Live is the finest radio program in the history of radio. And I know these things. I've been around a long time. I'm about 120 years old. That's a true story. Look, when I was at the height of my movie career, Chuck Fresh was already picking the best music in the world. I have a lot of faith in this guy, and you should too. This is Indie Originals Live, featuring Chuck Fresh and Felicia.
Human cycle, or is it human sickle? Like bicycle? Human sickle? Sounds like a disease. Human Cycle began their cultural and music performances in 2004. The band's from Portugal. Influenced by, they're really going to understand that humor, influenced by different styles of music and culture, Human Cycle is a mix of rock with a touch of soul and electronic rhythms. It's a pretty neat combination. The third EP is called Lead the Way. It sold 1,000 copies its first week, which is impressive for anybody because most musicians don't sell anything now. You pretty much stream and never pay. Somebody pays for it, but you're getting like, it's a disaster. We're going to talk about the changes in the music industry and how it affects independent artists in the next couple of weeks. We have some heavy-duty hitters we're going to bring in here and do a little bit more of the insider scoop on the music industry. So selling 1,000 copies your first week, man, kudos, man. Glad for you. Get her done. And you'll hear why. Here's the title track, Lead the Way. The band is Human Cycle, and this is IOL.
That's hidden behind each door, something that I never felt. It gives nothing, the weak want more. Come on, grab the wheel and lead the way. Instead of silence, better delay. Watch that lonely broken tree. Roots stop growing, no one can fake. Rotten air, forbidden breed. Something's moving, no one can shake. Come on, grab the wheel and lead the way. Instead of silence, better delay. Come on, grab the wheel and lead the way. Instead of silence, better delay.
Chelsea-Meyer is from Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, and has a love of music from a very young age. She was singing every word of Bare Naked Ladies one week at the age of 8. Within 4 years, she was writing her own songs and performing as part of the teen band 2AM. 2AM recorded an EP and won several local band battles. As often happens with young bands, its members split after high school. Some went off to college, others to the military. Meyer says that at 19, she found herself wanting to continue playing a lot more often, so she started doing solo stuff. Chelsea says she felt like she was out of her comfort zone when it came to being a solo artist, and she persevered and pushed and crushed it. She would love to see herself winning a Grammy someday, but she's totally grounded. She says even if she only plays some shows around Lehigh Valley, that's more than okay too, as long as she's having fun doing it. I don't know about you, but I smell a Grammy in her future. Check out Lying to Myself by Chelsea-Lyn-Meyer on IOL.
I close my eyes, I see the night that we met, the night that we met. And all these times I swore I'd never forget, never forget. Now that you're gone, I'm saying never again, never again. But in my car I play your favorite cassette, favorite cassette. I say I am over you. I mean it when I say but that was yesterday. I can't help this feeling. Got pulled into the deep end. Said I was over you. Well, I just keep lying to myself. It's crazy. I'm sick and the thought of you comes creeping. Said I was over you. Well, I just keep lying to myself. I feel like I'm in over my head, and I keep on replaying the words that you said, the words that you said. I see the words you're saying, can't comprehend, can't comprehend. Thought I moved on, but I was playing pretend, playing pretend. I say I am over you. I mean it when I say but that was yesterday. I can't help this feeling. Got pulled into the deep end. Said I was over you. Well, I just keep lying to myself. It's crazy. I'm sick and the thought of you comes creeping. Said I was over you. Well, I just keep lying to myself. Feel fine, lying to myself, lying to myself. Be fine, lying to myself, lying to myself. I can't help this feeling. Got pulled into the deep end. Said I was over you. Well, I just keep lying to myself. It's crazy. I'm sick and the thought of you comes creeping. Said I was over you. Well, I just keep lying to myself. I just keep lying to myself.
This is Jones. You may have heard me on a documentary talking about Earth, or perhaps you've witnessed my masterful impersonation of Darth Vader. I wholeheartedly recommend this radio broadcast, Indie Originals. I honestly don't know much about Chuck Fresh, but what I can tell you, the force is strong with this one.
Paul-Pedana is an Italian musician, singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and record producer born in Umbertide, if I said that right, in the vicinities of Perugia, Italy. At the age of 6, he began to play the piano. By the age of 12, he picked up both the guitar and drums and had started his first band. At 14, he composed an 11-track symphonic music album created on various synthesizers and other virtual instruments. The album was presented to the great composer Giampiero Riverberi. I wonder if he's the guy that invented reverb. Riverberi. After a live performance. No, he wasn't. The composer was immensely impressed by young Paul's potential. Now, check this out. Paul's momentum was abruptly cut short by a tragic accident at the age of 16. Paul was run over by a bus in front of his high school. Both wheels passed over his tender body, crushing everything under its immense weight. There seemed to be no hope for the young musician who was considered by most medics to be beyond return. Well, despite the odds, he made a painful and a miraculous recovery, undergoing multiple surgeries and medical treatments across long periods of time. It did not break his spirit and passion for music. As he laid in the hospital, he ordered his first electronic drum set and began to practice obsessively with headphones on from his bed until his eventual release. His near-death experience brought with it a strong sense of awakening and lust for life, which later led Paul to journey to the USA to live with the Native American tribe of Lakota. This insight into tribal culture profoundly touched Paul and gave him a previously unexplored look into the depths of his spirituality, a voyage which stayed with him and echoes through his music. This is sounding like a movie, man. What a story. In high school, Pedana teamed up with 3 friends and created a band called Anthropos. I think it's Anthropos, a band which would later grow to be a success. Pedana is still the drummer and the main songwriter for the band. After high school, the group recorded their first album, Strangers of the Nowhere. The album got its name from a chance encounter Paul had with director Terry Gilliam. That's pretty cool. In 2013, Anthropos' EP, I'm Gonna Smash You Down, was released to critical acclaim and got commercial success. In January 2015, Paul decided to pursue a solo project to express a different musical affinity. He immediately released 2 singles showcasing his new sound, which drastically departed from his previous musical genre. He quickly rose to the top of the UK hit list thanks to a fantastic debut at the O2 Academy and his 3 singles and music videos, Free, I'm Not Afraid, and Kate. Pedana did his first world tour in 2016. In October 2017, he released a new video called Ellie the Alien. Yeah, Ellie the Alien. Pedana wanted to create a character that reflected all the aspects of alienation and social marginalization using an alien named Ellie. The video was filmed in New York City. It's pretty cool. Paul is also the screenwriter of all his videos. He likes to call them short stories. I don't call them like shorts, like movies. These are really cool. You got to check them out. He's just finished the filming of his last clip for the song Come In from his EP Ex-Human. The leading actor is actually award winner Ken Stott, known for his roles in The Hobbit and a Woody Allen movie, along with many others. This guy sounds a little like Coldplay, and that's never a bad thing. Check out Paul-Pedana. The song is called Kate, and this is IOL.
Nobody knows what it means, that feeling that stops your time, but also that keeps you alive. And I do not want to leave, 'cause I love the way you disagree with me while you were laughing all the time. No one will know that, no one will tell you what I say to you. Nobody
This is IOL.
Self-taught on ukulele, guitar, and piano, Suzanah-Free started writing music before she was 10 years old. She attended college as a music composition major, and her first job was working in a recording studio where she sang and recorded demos and radio voiceover work. Suzanah's influences were formed from her father, who loved jazz music of the big band era, and her mother's combined love of Broadway tunes and Latin rhythms from her Spanish heritage. In her youth, Suzanah became immersed in the island rhythms found in the standard songs of old Hawaii. With her late husband, Danny Ellis, who was a very close friend of ours, they began performing as a duo, working the local clubs and special events scene here in Florida. With her late husband, Danny Ellis, they began performing as a duo, working the local clubs and special events scene in Florida. She and Danny performed as Reverend Danny and Sister Blues, opening for national acts such as Charlie Daniels, KC and the Sunshine Band, Mark Chestnut, and many more.
Hey, wait. Didn't Suzanah-Free open for Don McLean?
Did she? She did. That's
She
right.
did? That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Wow,
we were
see?
there for that.
That's right.
Absolutely right.
See?
You know what? I think they also opened for the Beach Boys right here in Central Florida.
Oh, my God. That was on my birthday, and I wasn't invited. But I'm not mad.
Oops.
I don't think she knew that.
I don't think so.
Surprise.
Suzanah-Free's latest gem is called Middle of the Night, and it's truly a beauty. Check it out here on IOL.
Diamond trees and the ebony nights floating together one day at a time, and the soft touch of your hand, it lightens my mind, knowing you'll be there in the middle of the night, like the calm after the rain, like the floating clouds on a warm summer day. With your touch, my pain goes away. In the still of the night, when you're there by my side, and your heart beats close to mine, when you hold me in the middle of the night. Some days I feel fine, some days I just break. Life is just like that, it's never the same. And when I surrender to the ebony light, I know you will be there in the middle of the night. If the stars begin to fade and the winter winds blow my warm days away, with your touch my pain goes away. In the still of the night, when you're there by my side, and your heart beats close to mine, when you hold me in the middle of the nights get so lonely, and I need you here with me. Please be here with me. The whispering night winds are calling to me as I float gently into deep sleep, and the soft touch of your hand lightens my mind, knowing you'll be there in the middle of the night, knowing you'll be there in the middle of the night.
Originals. Replay.
Every week, IOL plays a couple of songs we love from the week before. We pick two, I pick one, Felicia picks one, and my pick for this week is called Another Beautiful Mistake by Hannah-Trigwell. What a song, man. Hannah is a self-taught singer-songwriter from England. She began her career busking on the streets of her hometown Leeds before being encouraged to upload her music onto YouTube. She got 120 million views, people, 2 number one singles in Laos and Vietnam, and more than 600,000 total followers online. Her journey has an exciting path ahead, and she's an indie just like you, man. You guys can get this done, too. During her biology studies at the University of Leeds, Hannah released 2 EPs of original music, toured the UK and Europe 3 times, and she achieved a biology honors degree, right? All that talent and brains, too. She also won Best Unsigned Artist in the Online Music Awards. More recently, Hannah performed in front of sold-out crowds alongside Jess Glynn, Jake Buck, Boyce Avenue, and many more. Her growing celebrity fan base includes Ed Sheeran, people. Hannah was tipped as one to watch by national publications all over England, was introduced as the people's pop star when featured on ITV's Lorraine. Hannah was handpicked to support Walk Off the Earth tour in France, with the final show at a packed-out Brixton O2 Academy in London. Hannah's debut album, Red, is out now, and it's available everywhere. Get your hands on this thing, man. It's an intensely cool sound. Check out Another Beautiful Mistake by IOL Replay of the Week by Hannah-Trigwell on IOL.
I'm half caught, going out of my mind, tearing up, crashing the life that I drive. Since you disappeared out of my sight, no last goodbye. I'm out of luck, guess I should leave this behind, but I can't stop feeling we were meant to collide. Since you up and left, I realized you had me blind. I swear you're gonna feel the repercussions. Don't you wanna taste nice sweet?
Original replay.
The demos create a brand of power pop all their own. Lyrics centered and heavy on harmonies, their new EP, If You Only Knew, is a lush collection of reflections on love, the possible, present, and past. The album weaves through a maze of guitars and synthesizers that propel their songs forward to a stage of nostalgia. The five-piece group from upstate New York worked with producer and Joywave frontman Daniel Armbruster for the 4-song EP, which is now available. But this next song shines like the sun. There's a book called Slapstick. Its subtitle is Lonesome No More, and that's the song that's up next. It's a little more EDM feel than a typical The Demos song, but it just works. Here are the Demos with Lonesome No More on IOL.
Another serenade, another song for sunshine. Is it a passing phase? Another stupid song rhyme. I could see forever when I'm with you. It's all I really need, yeah. Always drawn together, you know it's true. You're all I really need, so hold on, darling. Hold on, don't let go now. We'll be lonesome no more. You know I really need you. You are my astral plane. I've lost all sense of timeline. You saw the colors change as evening stole the sunlight. I could see forever when I'm with you. It's all I really need, yeah. Always drawn together, you know it's true. You're all I really need, so hold on, darling. Hold on, don't let go now. We'll be lonesome no more. You know I really need you. I really need you. I could see forever when I'm with you. It's all I really need, yeah. Always drawn together, you know it's true. You're all I really need, so hold on, darling. Hold on, don't let go now. We'll be lonesome no more. Hold on, darling. Hold on, don't let go
This is IOL.
Greetings, my indie friends. My name is Chuck Fresh from Indie Originals Live, the worldwide dominating indie music podcast that's heard all over the world on 11 radio stations all over the U.S. and growing all the time. Listen, we've been working on this thing over the past couple of weeks. It's kept us pretty busy. For years, we've been asking people who hold indie film contests and film festivals, people who hold indie music competitions, let's do something bigger. Let's do something better. I've been asking this for 10 years now. I said, let's do one big contest that encompasses every indie talent form that there is. They're like, it would never work. We're never going to do that. We don't want to do that. I said, look, last year I said, if you guys don't do this, then I'm going to do it myself. And you really don't want me to do this, 'cause it's going to take a bite out of your dinner. And you see where we are right now. I'm doing it myself. We've come up with something called Indie Originals, a global competition for music, for indie artists, for filmmakers, for people who are comedians, for people who create just about anything. If you're an indie artist in just about any field, even literature, book authors, poetry readers, poets, we've got a category for you that will get you some recognition, and you'll be able to call yourself award-winning. We've got a bunch of categories, so everybody who enters has had a really good chance of winning something, especially the first year. This is going to be the first year we will have an award ceremony, which will be a huge gala. We've got some premier event planners on our team already who want to build something that's bigger and better and a little different from the Grammys and the CMAs. If you ever watch those on TV, ours is going to be even cooler than that. I know it's unbelievable, but I've already seen the plans and they're blowing my mind. So this is it. This is Indie Originals. It's the 2019 Independent Artist Competition. All kinds of categories, and you need to look at it yourself. You can get to it at indieoriginals.com or at indieoriginalslive.com. Both of those websites will point you to the competition. Get in there early. We've got some early bird entrance fee specials. There is a small fee to enter because there are administrative costs, as we're figuring out. It does cost a bunch of money to throw one of these. But it's going to be awesome, I promise you. If you've listened to our show, Indie Originals Live, you know how awesome we can put things together. And we want you to be recognized, and we want to inspire people to keep creating, to keep doing what you're doing. Because the only person that can stop you from doing something cool is you. And we want to help you get there. Chuck Fresh from Indie Originals Live. Check it out, indieoriginals.com or indieoriginalslive.com. The 2019 Indie Originals music, film, literature, and there's so many things, and talent competition. Entries are being accepted, if not right now, very, very soon. They're still putting together the infrastructure for this thing, but it's going to be awesome, I promise you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And get yourself in there. If you're an indie, I want to see you in the place. Thank you.